I got a bum shoulder, I got a bum back, things creep in like fear, doubt, atrophy's gonna kick in, decays wanna kick in. The battle is won or lost at this juncture of your life. I train 6 days a week, typically Monday through Saturday, with Sunday typically a rest day, with maybe some light stretching. And I work pretty hard for that 6-day period. And I'll train for 4 to 6 weeks until my body's telling me to take a deload week. I have a lot of friends from the gym back home, and they're pretty strong athletes, and I see them in there every day. They come in, they immediately, without a warm-up, throw the plates on the bar, and they're either doing push day or pull day, and they're going berserk over in the corner, grunting and banging and clanging with the metal, and then they're pulling the sled, and then I see them a couple of weeks later with an injury. And I'll say, hey, you may want to warm up a little bit, you may want to stretch, and they'll be like, yeah, I got a bum shoulder, I got a bum back, but they're so focused on pushing weight and so forth, and they're injuring themselves. And I feel that's like a one-dimensional approach and mindset in mainstream fitness, if you want to call it fitness, to get stronger. And of course, having strength in muscle is an important component to the physical human body, but I've learned it's a lot more than just strength. It's a lot more than just speed. It's a lot more than endurance. It's the mind-body connection, where the motor skills that I referenced earlier, the motor skills where you're moving and thinking at the same time, and some of the moves that we do in free running and vaulting and front rolls and side rolls really have to incorporate your brain with that. Because when my feeling is, we're not just pushing weight to gain strength, because when you're using your brain, you're learning a new skill that's going to keep your mind and your brain healthy and younger for a lot longer period, while you're also keeping your body and your health better for a long period of time. I had to work on my coordination with the fine motor skills and the thinking and the moving in some of the moves we do in what we call free run. It's similar to like a parkour, and it's super cool, super fun, but also super challenging. You're not just working your body physically with flexibility and mobility. I feel like I have that in certain areas, but now I have to get the neural cart synced with that. And that's at a challenge for me. I've been an athlete my entire life. I've been like lifting weights since I was like 16 years of age. The bodybuilder push-pull workout. And then later in life, I was doing flag football, and I've always considered myself to be stronger than average, have better speed than average, better agility than average, better endurance than average, and I can play the conventional sports pretty well. It moved very well, especially for a more mature athlete. And I was quickly humbled because I learned that it's important, I feel, to identify your weak links and then work on those weak links, because that'll make you a better athlete. The highlights of my training so far, of course, increasing my flexibility and my mobility, because you can quickly lose that as a more mature athlete, especially with a sedentary job as an elder law attorney, pretty much at a computer desk most of the day, 5 days a week. It's so important to move your body. So the flexibility and mobility is a given, but also my strength has improved. One of my big goals initially, I had a set of gymnastic rings that I had purchased a few years ago, and I could not get a muscle up to save my life. And sticking with the coaches, I got my first ring muscle up about a year ago, and now I feel very comfortable doing the ring muscle up, and where I can get 5 reps. And I'm like, I feel, yes, that's good for strength, but I have so much more room for improvement. So I'm excited to reach that milestone or that plateau, but now to build off that with some additional power moves. And it's very interesting. I had a conversation with one of my coaches recently about that. Maybe about a year ago, I was doing this frog stand, which is kind of like yoga type move that most people are familiar with. And my next progression in that move was to lift my knees off my elbows. And I could lift my right knee off my elbow just a few inches. My left knee was stuck, like it was glued to my elbow. It just wouldn't list. And just keep following the program, and just one day, boom, my left knee left the elbow and went extended all the way up. It was miraculous. It was almost like I had to unlock it in my brain and train the neural part of the body the signal part of that through repetitions. And that was able to unlock that move among many others. I was doing these earlier. I've made progress on the lifts on both sides.
Oh, well, I'm excited to see it.
I just wanted to show you.
You got much more even between the two sides. Yay, Patrick! Because it used to be I can do it, and then I think I can.
The left one I couldn't get in. Yeah, the left leg I could not get a half inch off my.
I know. I remember you were the perfect example of somebody with a very big imbalance between his two sides.
Big time. I don't have much of mental impediments with my training. I come into the program with an open mind and open heart and just follow the training program because it works. And I need to be patient. In addition, I also know other sports like jiu-jitsu, and I feel this program complements jiu-jitsu very well because you're working with your body weight. It's helping with the mobility and flexibility to keep it safe. And I've realized I have to fall in love with the process because to get from here to there, it takes time, it takes patience, and having the proper coaching will help me get there. Coaches have skilled eyes in this field of Powerbatics to see what I'm doing incorrectly, what I might be thinking I'm doing correctly. They can identify that and say, hey, Patrick, get your hips up a little more, fire your glutes, tuck your core in, and they'll give specific details to help me improve in that move that I'm doing, whether it's a handstand or a bar muscle up or any of those other type of skills.
So see how your arms are like stick straight?
Right.
And you've rounded, you're pushing everything through your shoulders. Everything's coming through here, right? Because you're looking like this. You're round and then it's like flat down, right? What you need to look like legitimately is here.
Okay.
Okay? So your hip is super low. You need to be up like this. And then it's okay if your legs are kind of pointed down to the ground, but at least that way your core is engaged and your back is rounded.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah. I was out at the Pacific Rim headquarters in Anchorage, Alaska this past summer training, and that was a beautiful experience because the energy's there. You see some really impressive athletes there and so forth. And we were doing a lot of free running and vaulting over boxes and things of that nature. And even though I considered myself a pretty athletic guy, I realized a lot of weak links. And I had a choice there. I could have been like, well, that's scary, that's hard, that's difficult. I'm not gonna do that element. But no, I had an open mind and open heart. And I said, I'm really not so good at that free running piece of the program. I need to double down on that. I need to focus on that. And how to get better at something? Repetitions. So I started setting up a free running course at my standard gym at home. And we have some heavy wooden boxes that people really don't use other than put their coffee or their gym bag on there. And so I set those boxes up and I set up a little course where I would do a little free running course. I'd do a vertical jump and touch my knees to my hands, chest level. And then I'd go into a front roll. And then I'd do a vertical box jump. I'd jump off the box at a 180-degree angle. And then jump over a second box and go into another front roll and finish with a vertical jump. And my buddies at the gym, the first few times they saw it, they made comments. They go, uh-oh, the circus is in town. Here's Patrick, the circus is in here. And they were kind of teasing me in a friendly, playful way. But after they saw me doing it for 2 or 3 weeks, they started making comments like, hey, that looks cool. Hey, that looks fun. That looks like things we did when we were a kid. Can I do that with you? So I said, yeah, every Friday I do it. And so I welcome them to join me. So they wanted a piece of the action. I'm a firm believer in growing in life. And if you're not growing, you're dying, they say. I'm a firm believer in that, whether it's academically or athletically. And folks get real comfortable with their athletic program. A lot of good friends of mine at the gym, I see them doing the same push-pull program for 10 years. And they don't look like they're making any progress. They get very used to that routine and so forth. And I encourage folks, impress upon them to open their minds, open their hearts, look to the future. because I feel strongly with conviction that the battle is won or lost at this juncture of your life. As you get a little bit older, maybe after your 50th birthday, I have endurance. I can go 26 miles with a 40-pound backpack and grind it out. But it's like, yeah, doing the things like free running and the vaulting, we used to do that as kids and it was effortless. But you don't do it for 40, 50 years. You have sedentary lifestyles and so forth. Atrophy is going to kick in. Decay is going to kick in. The motor skills diminish significantly. And we got to retrain the brain, because I think physically we have the ability to do it. But things creep in like fear, doubt, and you got to get those out of your mind. You got to positive words followed by positive actions. So it's really important. Battle is won or lost, and you got to make a decision what you're going to do about that. And if you're comfortable with your program, I really encourage you to challenge yourself, because we only grow when we're uncomfortable. And you're going to have the physical frame to do all the moves that are necessary. I've seen it with the different athletes, but you got to believe it up here too. And of course, you got to acquire the skills, but the coaches will give you the skills to get there. Like Lego blocks, they're going to give you the skills to get there slowly, consistently. You're going to make progress, and you set your mind right, and you got the frame and the body and the machine to do it. Yeah. And you're going to be able to do it. Like I described earlier, the free running was as clearly a weak link from in the program, still is, and I have a strong conviction to continue working at that, putting the time in, having fun with that piece of it, as well as the rest of the program. So take that leap of faith is my recommendation. Get off the sidelines, get on the field, and take action. They say knowledge is power, but knowledge is truly not power. I believe Dale Carnegie made this quote. Knowledge is not truly power unless you do what? Unless you take action, unless you do something with that knowledge. So stop procrastinating, get off the couch, get off the sidelines, go after